Hello.
Introducing
Lasers.
Hello.
Yo, baby.
Well, hello. Welcome to my show. I'm Fanya Daniels, the queen of self-care. I have a great show for you today. Today we're going to talk about people who suck you dry. People who do not want to see your cup full. People who don't even recognize that they are thieves. They are burglars. And sometimes they're not lurching into your window or, grabbing your stuff, when they come over or whatever. But sometimes they are thieving and stealing from your time, your purpose, your peace of mind, your love and compassion for others. Those people who may have some struggles with their own program. They may have some struggles with understanding themselves, not sure where they're going. They may be a little lost, which is fine. That's okay. It all ways, that can happen to anyone. And that actually happens more often than not. But our goal is to find our way. But it's the people who are pretty much reveling within themselves. They're fighting windmills. They're starting a war with nobody, but they're really they end up dragging you into their situation, into their anger, into their misery. And you look around and you're like, I never wanted to be a part of this. I never wanted to be a part of your loneliness, your misery, your sadness, your depression. I never wanted to be a part of this. I would love to maybe help or pass on some resources or try to find a way to uplift you. But does that take for me to continue to deplete myself, deplete my energy, take my positivity away, take me away from my focus, my purpose, my dreams, my spirit, my spirituality? How do we know that we're that person who is a thief of other people's spirit? And how do we know when there's someone who is taking from us, our spirit, our mind, our body? How do we know? Well, here it goes. Let's start with the person who may be the thief, okay? Sometimes when we are down, we're out, we want someone to relate to us. We may not want to necessarily be around people who are always high energy, always positive, or maybe we do, but then we want some of that. We want to take from that. So sometimes with that type of personality or that, type of situation to where, I'm down, so you should be down. You're always happy and this and that. Well, I'm going to say some slick stuff to make you feel bad about yourself because I feel bad about myself. I'm going to put doubt in you because I doubt me. I'm going to tell you you're nothing because I feel like nothing. When we're doing that, we really need to look into the mirror and we need to figure out our own self-care routine, and we really need to figure out how can we fill our hole And when I'm talking about whole, I'm talking about emptiness. And I'm talking about how can we become a whole entity, to be at peace with oneself. When we look into the mirror, we can be satisfied with what we see and who we are, how we walk, how we talk, our purpose. And we're not doing that. We need to start really figuring out what's holding me back. Why am I need to get out of my way. I need to start building my self-care routine. There's something that has slipped up under me, and I need to figure out how I can do a better job for myself. Because I'm and now having my spirit broken, I'm hurt, my pain, and now it's reaching out to others around me, to the point that others don't really want to be around me. I didn't have to say that mean thing. Why did I tell that girl that she's nothing? Why did my best friend tell me about her business, but I decided to dismiss it or say a slick comment? We want to be careful of how we treat others. And usually it's because we're not treating ourselves with respect. We're not treating ourselves with dignity. We're not giving ourselves the confidence. We're not telling ourselves that we are great, we are loved, we can do whatever we want. And so we start to palm that off onto other people. And sometimes that happens. Be honest. But please do something about it. Do something about it, because then others will not want to be around you. You're going to lose people that you really love because you lost yourself. Okay? So now, the vice versa of that, where you're the person whose energy is being taken. It could be family. It could be, people you loved and grew up with. And it could be your best friend. It could be people you went to school with, your colleagues, whoever. Be careful on how you allow people to use your energy, your spirit, your time, taking you away from your steps towards your purpose. If you are spending too much time trying to fix someone else's life, you need to rethink that, because you're going to end up pulling away from what you need to do for yourself. When you are finding yourself crying or hurt or in constant pain because the people that you felt comfortable with or felt compassion and love for is starting to throw negativity your way, or kind of downing you, and you don't feel like you can be your whole self around them, or you don't feel that they are treating you with decency and respect, you may need to change your environment. You may need to change the toxic people around you. And sometimes the toxic part of that person or those groups of people, they're going through something. So maybe it's a second. Maybe we just need to have some distance. Or sometimes it's like, you know what? We don't need to be friends at all, or we don't need to connect in that way at all. And I know a lot of things that we don't, we kind of hush on is the family aspect. Family is important. Family is great. Family is love. But we're all human, and people make mistakes, and people are going through their own thing, and sometimes they're gonna want to drag you down because you decided to do something for you, or you're doing what you want to do for you, and right now they can't do that, and they're desperate, or they're having challenges, and your positivity is not floating with them, right? So although we're family, although we're close, although hey, you're my best friend and I've known you since, I don't know, kindergarten, whatever the case may be. Sometimes we have to put that distance. Sometimes we have to disconnect so to make sure that we are protecting ourselves, protecting our energy, that we're being true to ourselves, and that we're still facing forward. And it's not turning your back on someone. It's not turning your back on your family. It's not turning your back on or being disloyal to your colleagues or not being a team player or whatever it is. You have a bigger vision. You see a different future for yourself. And that's okay. Own it. Be proud of that. It's well deserved. God has put something into you. And you need to stand on that with pride and confidence. So when they're ready to come back around, maybe you let them in, maybe you set boundaries. Like, okay, you can be in this lane, but we'll never go back there again. I know that I can't trust you in that way. Depending on how deep the cut is. So just be honest with yourself. Be honest in these relationships. It's important. You got to make sure your energy and that you are protected, because that's how you protect you and your family. And people around you. If your cup is not being filled up, if your cup is always being spilled over for someone else, you're always taking someone else to the store, you're always on the freeway for someone else, you're always spending money for someone else, but yet you can't do anything for yourself, you don't get no time for yourself, you don't have any energy left to move yourself forward, that is an issue. And I'm telling you, you're going to need to what? Reevaluate the connection that you have with with that person or those groups of people. Find new friends. It's okay. I know you known them since, I don't know, junior high. I know you guys been loyal. I know he helped you out back in the day. But what is that doing for you now? And not to be one-sided, it's give and take. But at some point, when you don't have nothing for yourself to give, but yet that person is willing to take, and they see that you don't have nothing else to give, it seems that it's starting to get a little intentional. And at the end of the day, we all have to figure out, yes, how do we as individuals move ourselves forward so that we can have a program to give back to the collective, to give back to your family, to give back to your future family, to give back to your community and your friends in a network. How do you do that if you're always relying on someone else to do for you? Or if someone is always taking from you? Balance is key. I just wanted to throw that out there. I know someone needed to hear it. It is okay to go ahead and cut people off for a second, reevaluate the situation, and give back to yourself. Ta-ta, folks. Until next time, peace, love, and light. The Queen is